This is a trailer to The Reluctant Kinsman, which is adapted from a book titled The Reluctant Kinsman. Before we begin, I have something very important to talk to you about, so please pay careful attention. There are 26 episodes, and the reaction to this trailer will determine whether I go ahead with the project. I don't fancy wasting the next 26 weeks, given the superficial times we live in, where just about everyone has some kind of attention deficit disorder or other mental affliction. So watch this trailer and let me know if you want to see more, or whether I should piss off for a fuck or fuck off for a piss, and remove myself from the superficiality of social media. I've already thrown my mobile phone in the trash if you doubt my veracity, and I feel much better for it. And I can honestly say that wiping my social media profiles out is starting to become an extremely tempting thought. Thank you for your cooperation. I look forward to hearing from you. Now on to the trailer. You will hear about my encounters with the likes of New Age guru Deepak Chopra, Sylvester Rambo Stallone, PW Die Groot Crocodile Botha, Yuri the Russian Ulyanitsky, the infamous Cape Town gangster, and how I nearly got caught in the crossfire the night he was gunned down in Milnerton. I will take you to the Angolan border, or what I call the other name, Bangkok, the unholy city, Jerusalem, the holy city, so they say, the Negev desert where Moses and his flock wandered about for 40 years, Singapore's 4 floors of whores, the Greek Isles, Soho, Samui, Santon, and other shitholes I've travelled to bang, booze and brawl in. And I'll tell you about the 9 near-death experiences and prison escapes I've had along the way. I've also had at least 1 and possibly 2 fatwas put on my head. The first one was when I pissed Pugad in Cape Town off after I exposed the drug money laundering racket in the late 90s. A week later I was in Johannesburg, far away from the likes of Cyril Beaker and Rashad Stachy, who conducted their business, which included keeping the city's funeral parlours busy without very much interference from the law. They were on a first-name basis with the top cops and advocates in Cape Town, and I wasn't keen on being on a first-name basis with either of them, so I packed my bags for Johannesburg. I needed that like a hole in the head, which was very likely to happen if I stuck around. I returned to Cape Town 4 years later when 3 of the 4 leaders who had put the fatwa on my head were dead. And the other one was in a vegetative state in a wheelchair dribbling his chicken biryani onto his bib. And just in case you're wondering, I had nothing to do with any of it. But it serves them right for putting a fatwa on my head. Allah null, God for. The second fatwa happened one night in Tel Aviv when I met Abu the Irish Arab. Never make a spare rib joke to an Arab militant in a Tel Aviv pub at midnight. You could end up losing your girl, or even worse, your head. I often liken my life to some kind of Forrest Gump movie, only these things really happened. From murders to slick expat South African conmen and their elaborate life in paradise franchise scam. From sleazy back streets to haunted hotel rooms, from the flesh pots of Patong to the Holy of Holies in Jerusalem, where a voice spoke to me and told me the reason I was there, against my will, in a seriously hungover state, was that I had to leave my baggage there after 13 years of PTSD. Remember, the Holy of Holies is where Christians, Jews and Muslims believe God made man, where Abraham was going to sacrifice his son and Muhammad ascended to heaven. The voice told me that every step I had taken had led me to standing there at the place God created mankind on the 5th of May 1999, exactly 19 years after that fateful night in Ongongo, and that I had to stop carrying those soul-destroying memories around with me like a burdensome cross. Then he showed me a vision, and I don't blame you for being skeptical. Even I was at the time. I wrote it off as a hangover-induced hallucination after the heavy night I'd had pub crawling in Tel Aviv. But when I saw those 2 planes fly into the World Trade Center's Twin Towers in New York on September 11, 2001, I realized that it had been a revelation. You will also find out how I avoided becoming a 30-year-old virgin by less than half an hour, and why I remained celibate for 29 years, 364 days, 23 hours and 33 minutes. It was hilarious. I was in an East London hotel feeling sorry for myself on the eve of my 30th birthday, and I told my sorry story to a Cadbury sales rep who had also booked into the hotel for the night. She was an attractive divorcee a few years older than me, and she found my story hysterical. Then she turned to me and said, "Well, we can't let that happen, can we? I've got a birthday present in my room for you." I was so naive that I thought she was probably going to give me a box of chocolates. Needless to say, I devoted a considerable amount of my time to catching up after that night. And God helped me when He sent 2 Danish backpackers fresh out of school to me in the Enyahav desert after I decided to go to an Israeli moshavim for 6 months shortly after the 1994 election in South Africa. It wasn't the election that made me go, it was the end of my 13 years of post-traumatic stress. Sure, I was very pissed off about the ANC, my former enemy, being handed my country without a single shot being fired, after being forced to fight a war over 3,000 kilometers from home against the commies up there, who eventually took over here. I almost landed up in jail when I wrote "fuck off" on my call-up papers to oversee the election. What a fucking insult. There is no glory in surrender, and you cannot make peace without a war. That's human nature and not my opinion. The charge carried an automatic 2-year jail sentence, and I will tell you how I beat it. It's another crazy story that involved another pretty blonde, this time an army captain from Pretoria. I will also tell the full story of what happened that fateful night in Ongongo for the first time. I've never told the full story to anyone before. But getting back to the 2 heaven-sent Danish Barbie dolls I consorted with in the desert. Despite being nearly half my age, they got me over my hang-ups and taboos after living under NG Kerk repression in South Africa for 35 years. I felt like Hugh Hefner, minus the millions and the mansion, of course. You'll have to tune into the weekly series to find out the rest of the scandalously sinful details. So what do you think? Should I or shouldn't I? You want to hear more of a totally 100% true story? You gotta admit you can't make shit like this up. Ship sinking, sordid sagas, miraculous brushes with the Grim Reaper, and impossible coincidences. 9 near-death experiences. Or is it time for the reluctant kinsman to slay the time-thieving social media dragon and sign out? Right now, I can't think of a better birthday present to give myself on the 26th of March 2022. It will almost be as nice as the one I got on my 29th birthday. So let me know what you think. Should I stay or should I go? Either way, I really don't give a used condom in a Barcelona brothel on Bull Run Day. So until the next time, if there's a next time, remember that it's okay to not be okay, and fuck any fucking fuckers who don't like it.